Okay, good evening and welcome to episode 51. As always, we will start with our gratitude attitude. So, if you will, please gently close your eyes. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, relax your body. Take another deep breath. As you exhale, relax some more. Take one more deep breath. This time, completely let yourself go. Now, think of one thing that you are thankful for that happened in the past week. Once you have identified that, think about why you are thankful. And now let's set it free. If you are by yourself, say it out loud what you are thankful for and why. If you are with someone, tell it to each other. Okay, so today we're going to talk about how much is enough. I was a guest on the Mindful Fire podcast, which is about to be released in the next week or so. So I thought it would be appropriate to talk about one question that kept coming back again and again on this podcast. Before we dig in a little bit, let's just brief a thing about what this podcast is. So, host of Mindful Fire, Adam Coelho, is a 10-year Google veteran, and he's passionate about financial independence and mindfulness. So, he's trying to help people with his podcast how to achieve that financial independence, but while doing so, be mindful and be intentional, right? So, during our interview, he asked several times that how did I know I had enough when I decided to retire? So I thought it was a perfect question to kind of dig into age old, right? How much is enough? Now, in our previous contentment discussion, we talked about how if you have, food, clothing, shelter, and healthcare, you're luckier than 99.9% of the rest of the world. At times, it may not seem like that, but think about it. How many people are struggling to put food on the table daily? What does it mean to be financially independent anyway? If you are making more money than you did, let's say, 5 or 10 years ago, right? When do you believe you have reached a point where you have enough money without any worries for the future? So, the Wall Street has a formula for how much is enough. I'm sure a lot of you know the classic 4% rule. They've been preaching this for the better part of 4 decades. It says that if you should have about 25 times your annual expenses tucked away in order to retire, meaning your expenses should not exceed 4% of your total net worth. And if you do that based on the average market return, most likely you will outlast your money. Now, personally, I have a reservation about this formula because no two people are alike, right? If you own some rental real estate, let's say, and that's producing enough to cover your expenses, you may not need 25 times your expenses, 10 times may be enough. But my point is not about any formula. What I'm here to argue is that it's a moving target. If you think about it, your expenses are much higher today than they were when you were just starting in the real world. As your income kept increasing, so did your lifestyle and expenses. So let's look into how much is enough in the context of our expenses. We live in this consumption culture where everyone wants the next best thing, right? It's been bombarded by advertisements and marketing experts. I remember actually that we used to have our mobile phones and we'll use it for 3 or 4 years at least on an average. Now, these devices are being replaced annually or every 2 years at most. Does anyone need that iPhone 13 that just came out? It's not just about mobile phones. We used to live in a house for all our lives, right? That was the thing. If you think about it, go back 100 years, that's where the 30-year mortgage was originated because you're going to live there for the rest of your life. Now, people keep moving up, if you will, right? Every 3 to 5 years. Our consumption culture is creating a lifestyle that has become so expensive that majority of our households need two incomes to run a household. It didn't used to be like that. It used to be that one income would suffice to run a household. That has reduced family time and relaxation time for the entire society. We are the most tired nation on earth. Here's an interesting tidbit. People are so afraid to lose their jobs that they are checking their emails on their vacation. On their vacation! So the first thing we need to do is reduce our consumption. It's good for us individually, of course, right? But it's also good for the society as a whole. Think about the resources we will save. Once we curtail our consumption, obviously it will reduce our number for financial independence, no matter what formula we use. Another point I would like to make is that most people think that financial independence is a destination. They will reach that someday and their life will change. It'll be utopia. It's never like that. One thing I've often advocated is to leg in your financial independence. What do I mean by leg in? If you think you're halfway there, for example, right? Try making some changes in your life. and begin to do what you would want to do during retirement. Don't wait. You never know what you may or may not enjoy. Don't wait for that someday. Begin living your life today. The last thing I would say is that to figure out your purpose. And this is the piece most people miss when they're talking about financial independence. Because there is only so much golf one can play, right? If you are fortunate enough to reach that financial independence, you may get bored or even depressed, believe it or not, if you don't have a plan for it. The best way to avoid that is to make sure that you have a purpose for which you are passionate, whatever that may be for you. But it is important to figure out before you call it quits. I may have said this before, but start volunteering for your favorite cause. Just a couple of hours a week, that's all. You would be amazed what giving back does to your mental health. So that's the sermon for the day. Today, we'll try our Savasana meditation. We haven't tried that in a long time. So if you are able to, please lie down on a flat surface. Once you lie down, we'll place our hands on our side, palms up. And during this entire meditation, we'll practice diaphragmatic breathing. So take a deep breath. And as you breathe in, let your stomach expand. As you breathe out, let your stomach touch your spine. Take another deep breath. As you exhale, relax your body. Take one more deep breath. As you exhale, completely relax all your muscles. Now, bring your attention to your feet. See if there is any pain. Just keep your focus there. Keep breathing while your focus is on your feet. Pay attention to your ankles. Bring your focus to your calf area. Pay attention to your knees. See if they are calling out for any pain. Keep your focus there. Move your focus to your thighs. Bring your attention to your pelvic area. Notice any sensation there may be. Bring your attention to your lower back. See if there is any pain. Focus your attention to your kidneys. Bring your attention to your liver. Move your attention to your abdominal area. Bring your attention to your lungs. Listen to your lungs as you keep your attention there. Bring your attention to your heart. Notice how you feel. Can you hear your heart rates? Bring your attention to your chest. Move your attention to your upper back. Bring your attention to your shoulders. Notice any tension you may be carrying in your shoulders. Bring your attention to your palms. Move your attention to your arms. See if you feel any sensation. Bring your attention to your throat. Move your attention to your face. Focus on your eyes. Move your attention to your forehead. Keep your focus at your crown for about a minute or so on your own. When you're ready, gently open your eyes. So, before I open up for questions, I just want to say something to all of you. The book would not have been possible if you guys didn't show up every Tuesday, because all the material from the book came out of um, our weekly sessions. So truly, from bottom of my heart, thank you for coming, thanks for the encouragement. That's what really materialized. So thank you so very much. And with that, we will open up for any questions you may have. Go ahead, Prema.
No questions. But yeah, I mean, your point about start living your life now, don't wait for retirement is a key. Because I mean, I've seen many examples like, people will be like, we'll do this later when we retire or when we have more time or when kids go to college. That's
Yeah.
that's most normal one you see here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've also seen examples of people not being able to do it. I mean, it's simple. Will you be able to hike Machu Picchu when you are 55 something? Probably
Exactly.
not.
Right?
So,
Exactly. And that's the key. In fact, I met someone last week. Uh, you know, he's like, someday I want to spend time with my daughter. I said, how old is she? She's like 2.5 years old. So why are you waiting for someday? It's your daughter. Start spending time with her, right? Nothing is more important than that, in my opinion, right? So that's the key, is to make sure that we start living our lives and do what we think is most important right away.
yep.
Yeah, I think plus one to what Premal is saying. I guess it's a relative prioritization of your priorities, and it takes a lot of trade-off discussion within your wife and your family in order to come to that discussion. But yeah, it is a ongoing battle. But yeah, agree to the Uber question here, that it is something that you have to intentional about and drive towards that. So.
And that's the key, Sapan, is to be intentional, because this doesn't have to be a battle, right? If our priorities are crystal clear, right, then the relativeness goes away, if you will, right? I mean, deep down, we all know what's most important to us. It's just that we are not willing to act on it. Does that make sense?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Anything else? Any other questions, comments?
No, I say thank you for bringing this back. Super excited to join back again.
Yeah, it's been fun.